Okay. All right. I can stop. I can start talking now. Okay. So let's start for real. So this is my image editor, by the way. So yeah, we're gonna be making a Fangame from scratch in an hour, if all goes well. So this is not gonna be an extensive tutorial by any means, but just kind of give you an overview of what it's like. I don't like the GM Sprite editor. I use this program. It's called Sprite, A-S-E-P-R-I-T-E. It's my favorite for making pixel art. This program is called Game Maker. This is where this is where the magic happens. This is the main program people use to make fan games. So I'm gonna hopefully not lecture, and I'm hopefully just gonna narrate what I do. So first, we don't start from scratch. There's stuff already made for us that's easy to make fan games. So let me run this real quick. And we can see what we're starting out with, because we're not, making everything totally from scratch. You'll see. I just gotta wait for it to load. I should have done this beforehand, but yeah. Okay, we got Gyrock, but let me mute that. All right, cool. So here's the game window. So we got a title screen. You got a window that pops up, title screen. Awesome, it's already a fan game. Not really. So we got a save menu, and when we start our file, here's the kid, and he already moves around, and they're saving and restarting, and there's all that stuff. We just got to make new content. That's the idea. So here we go. I'm gonna go into the rooms folder here, and I'm gonna go to our template, right-click, duplicate this. Let's make the background, sure, we can just leave it as that. So in this little blue square, we're gonna place our stuff. So let me start out by placing some blocks here. I gotta think about how I wanna structure this. Maybe we'll start off the kid in the box. Now let me find the player start object, put this guy here. Find the save object, put that guy, and give you a nice starting save, even though it auto-saves you, just because, it's nice. And of course, I got some spikes. And we're just gonna make a little spike room that exits over here or something like that. So what if, I'm just freestyling here with a level design. I'm just, thinking about what might be cool. And getting good at level design just comes with experience. Like, once you make a few fan games, or your first fan game, you learn a lot about what's fun and not. So I'm sort of going over the more technical aspect. I'm not going to be talking, well, I'll mention some tips for making a good design game, hopefully. Let's see. Could do image up here. And then this little, actually no, because you can jump straight to there. See, this is a 4-block jump, and I caught that. With experience, you catch these, skips earlier. So let me, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm so nervous I can't count. Okay. And then of course, we're gonna put a gate jump at the end, and then our screen's done. Can I rap a Fangame song? No. I'm sorry, I can't just give up the chat. So, let me go into this here. No, don't panic when I open this. So I know where this is. This line of code right here changes what it is, what the starting room is, and instead of the template room, which is this one, like we saw before. Remember this looked familiar? We're gonna make our pat1 is what I'm gonna call it, and then I'm gonna type in our pat1, and it turned red, so that means it worked. And we're gonna hit the green button up here, and panic? Oh no. Also, was the stream down for a little bit? Well, it wasn't anything important. Okay, I hope it's okay. Okay, so let me start a new file. And here we are. We already have a game, essentially, You can see that we have the room editor and we place stuff. You can already make a needle game. You already know what to do. I'm sort of trying to emphasize fan games once it's not that hard to pick up Game Maker. So let me just test this out. This is pretty fun. Dang it. Why am I... Okay, the collisions order is messed up. I gotta fix that. But yeah, this is pretty cool. We in there, boys. That's right. So now, let me, well, first let me just fix this bug that I know how to fix. This block should be at the top for reasons. So instead of having this brown block, I thought we'd go for like a metallic kind of factory, whatever. So we're gonna see how that goes. So I'm gonna hopefully do this in like 2 minutes. I'm gonna set a time limit on myself, or else I'll spend forever on this. But okay, here we go. This is gonna be a 32 by 32 pixel image that we're gonna use to replace those block sprites that are already in the room. And I mentioned this is my favorite image editor. There's one built into GameMaker, and you could use, you know, paint.net or whatever your favorite happens to be. Okay, so let me actually, no, what, okay. Okay, I gotta think of some design for the middle. Maybe just a square will be nice. So I like to make my own graphics, that's just my style. You can find graphics online when you're making fan games. You should look for custom graphics because they really add a lot of personalized feel to your fan game, which is something you want. Definitely. So I'm gonna make a little raised thing here. It's off center, but look at that, we fixed it. And you know what, let me just, I'm not an artist by any means, but this will look better than the default, so that's what we're going for. And I'm also doing it quick, otherwise I'd spend more time on this if I was actually, you know. I'm already over my 2-minute thing, I bet. I should have gone with something more organic, because then you can't tell if it's not symmetric. Oh god. Okay, it's okay. This does not look as good as I had hoped. We're gonna add a little bit of shading here, and then it's done. Then we're gonna say it's good enough. Ship it. Wait, no. Okay. Alright, now let's put this into GameMaker. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go into our GameMaker window and go to sprites, add a new sprite, paste this guy in, and call this SPR bad block, because it's not very good. Yeah, you can make animated sprites. That's what you do here. I've not been looking at the chat at all. I'm sorry. I'm just concentrating. So I'm going to go to our object here. And this is the third folder. We're looking at objects. Go to our block. And this is the same block we plastered all over here. So I'm going to change this and go to our new block. And boom. All right. And now let me also go to the backgrounds. Change this to like probably a darker one. And boom. Look at this. Spooky Factory. Instantly. Cool, right? So now let's, what I want to do next is do another room and add something more interesting to it than just, you know, plain old blocks of spikes. Hopefully some kind of gimmick. So I'm gonna call this new one Art2, go here. It's not, well, I mean, I guess it's, well, it's not horrible, but, well, it's not really spooky, it's more like a dark factory, but you know, you have to use your imagination. If I want to get fancy, I could do clouds and stuff, but that'd take more than an hour. So clear all the stuff in here. That was my Windows sound, by the way. Let me mute my Windows sound so that doesn't happen anymore. Okay. So toward the end of this, maybe 15 minutes before my time is up, I'm going to do like a Q&A session and stop working on the game. So there's 5 blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm making these line up. Find our save object, because maybe we want to save after that. It's a really hard segment. We need to save. Let's see. So in this room, we're going to have like a gimmick. So first, before I work on this room, let me make a transition between the rooms. So there's a special object. I know where it is. You'll get used to all these objects. There's so many objects in here that do everything you could possibly want from the default fan games. Anything you know in fan games that it's like universal, like a like a jump refresher or a moving platform or like a, you know, bouncing cherry or like, you know, these spike objects and mini spikes. They're all in here, all the basic stuff you could expect. But if you want to make custom stuff, you gotta dive a little bit into coding. And there's people in our community who would be more than willing to, you know, or who are willing to help you if you have questions. There is a great tutorial by Clayson that I will make sure to link at the end if someone wants to link that. But yeah, so I'm gonna type in this, I type in code here, room2 equals rpat2. And that code, this code I just typed, applies to this thing. So now, let me just make sure it works. Memes, I somehow, I don't think I'm gonna do many memes. Let me change the title too. So before I go here, let me go into title menu. I want to be the, oh god, I have to choose a name. I want to be the Patrickgh game. Okay, good name. I want to be the Patrickgh game. Oh, it's going to be a masterpiece. So, cool. Let me move the player starting position. Oh, that's just where I saved in my save file. So let me, there's also debug keys, so I can press home. Okay, I don't have them turned on, but there's God mode, and there's teleporting the kid if you want to test your stuff. It's useful. Oh gosh. I have to do needle. Oh gosh. So I do have an idea of a gimmick. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I'm better than this usually. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I may as well post a download just for the joke, electric. All right, cool, and we get warped to this next room automatically. Pretty cool. So you can kind of see we already have a lot of building blocks for making a fan game. So one gimmick I would like to do is a low gravity, you know, like, oh gosh. Okay, I have my mic on. So a low gravity game, a low gravity field. You know, that kind of switches up the platforming a little bit. So what kind of graphic I want for that is, oh, you know what? I should do this in this. So let me make a new 32 by 32 thing, because that's how big it's going to be. There may be one more phone call. I don't know. So let me choose a color here. It's not going to be green. It's going to be like a bluish. Make it more of a deep blue like that. Good. That's not highlight worthy, really. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this blue square, make a new sprite, paste it in just like last time. I'm going to do the opacity here, so I'm gonna go into the options here, change the, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do something fancy. So we're just gonna leave it as fully opaque. Make a new object. So to do that, I'm gonna go right click, add object. Object low grav is what I'm typing in there. Select our blue guy, and then with our new object we can go ahead and place it in the room just like that. And once we add code to this object, it'll actually do stuff. And that's it's as simple as that. Once you know how to use GameMaker, it's a very good tool for going quickly. It's, if you guys know of game jams where you try to make a game really quickly, or a situation like this, it's very nice for going quickly and making prototypes. It does have limitations, but yeah, it does have limitations. It happens to be perfect for most fan game designs, so that's cool. I'm gonna make a low gravity object. You can also stretch them like this, pretty cool. Yeah, GameMaker is free, and the free version actually is pretty much just as powerful as you'll need. If you can pay 60 bucks, like I have, if you use it a lot, and you get like a few more things, but the free version is more than enough. So yeah, it's called GameMaker. And the engine, someone can link it. There's a link on the forums. There's a link in Clayson's tutorial, which is probably just link Clayson's tutorial. It explains all that stuff. Where to get GameMaker. Okay. But now, once we have this low gravity field, let me put some spikes here to make this actually an obstacle. Actually, let me change the depth object to depth of this guy. Okay, maybe really big depth. Okay. Now we're gonna put some spikes. So this is your first tutorial to low gravity. But so if I run the game now, this low gravity is not going to do low gravity because we haven't coded it yet. So to code it, this is what it looks like. So on the left here is the, okay, I'll just show you. So I'm gonna click step, and then in step, I'm gonna click code. You don't have to worry about that. And then it brings up the code window. So this, what I write here, is gonna execute every frame of the game. So what do I want it to do every frame of the game? What I want it to do is with object player, no, if place, wait, no. Wait, how do I want to do this? Equals gravity equals 0.2. So this is, you don't have to worry about the syntax. You can kind of see what this does. It sets 0.2 and stores it in the gravity. So it, you know, it does low gravity. It's very simple. It's very simple. Don't be afraid of code. We'll see if that works. It might not work. Don't expect things to work the first time, but we'll see. So here we are. I loaded up my saved file, and I forgot. Now I'm always in low gravity. At least the low gravity works. It's because I forgot to check if the player's touching this. It just always does low gravity. That's kind of funny. So we're gonna do if place meeting so we're gonna change it up a little bit. Don't worry about the syntax. Syntax meaning all these symbols, don't worry about it. You can just, you know, yeah. So let's see if that works, and then we'll make a room with that. And then let me think what I want to do next. We might add another gimmick. We might add some more levels. Okay, there's a problem. Once you start out with normal gravity, but once you touch it, you keep low gravity forever. Okay, so how I fix that is I go into the player object, and the player is his own object, you know, just like the low gravity and the blocking is his own object. So in the step event, I'm going to do gravity. And if you want to check out all the code that makes the player run and jump and all that stuff, it's pretty complicated, but it's all there. So this should work, and I just want to verify. Oh gosh, I have not... You can change all the, you know, a lot of the colors in GameMaker. Okay, so normal gravity, low gravity, and normal gravity. Wait, no. This is normal gravity. So I'm gonna change... Okay, I need to move this. I'm not gonna explain how I do this, but just know that this fixes it. I reset the player's gravity to 0.4, always. So, yeah. Eventually you'll get better at debugging, because nothing works the first time. I've been doing this for so long, and I was sure this would work, but I'm having trouble. So, yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Grom. I've really not been paying attention to the chat. I can't. Animation? Yeah, sure, I can make an animated something. Okay. Man, I'm just missing something obvious here, I bet. Someone wants to point out, I'll actually look at the chat. Oh, I think I know why. No, that's even worse. Oh, it's because I put it in the wrong place. That's why. Okay, so this should fix it. Oh, gosh, I was hopefully not just like that. So I'm doing some programming right now, but there's more to programming. There's more to making fan games and games in general than programming. So, like, all right, there we go. There's the low gravity and then normal gravity. Perfect. So now let's make some cool levels. So that won't work stocked because if there's multiple gravity objects in the room, I would have to do something special, which I probably should have done in the first place. Anyways, so that's how you make that. And now, you know, it depends on what... Some people find the fun part programming, some people find it more fun to do the level design, some people find it more fun to do the graphics. It depends on the person, and it depends on your mood, or whatever. I like to do all of them. So, actually, let me leave that how it was. We're just gonna have this be really easy. So let me just make some... Oh gosh, I've never done level design with low grav before, so this may not be interesting. In fact, it's probably not looking very interesting. Yeah, so VLC stopped? Is that really the whole thing? All right. So this will be the sort of, you have to jump really high into the thing and then stay in the thing. We'll see how hard that is. So let's add another thing in here. Let me make an animated sprite because someone requested that, and I sort of have an idea of what kind of enemy I want to do. So let me get a blue. No, let me get a red. And let me get a gray. So I'm gonna make some sort of an enemy. You can't see that gray. Let me make this a light gray. So I'm gonna make this like a cherry. So I'm gonna draw a cherry, and let me do a layer just so you can see what's going on. So I'm gonna make a cherry. Yeah, people are explaining stuff in chat, I can see, and listen to them if you're interested. I'm gonna make this cherry have evil eyes that you might not be able to see because it's so small, but we'll see. Man, I guess we'll just make this like a really creepy cherry. Sound good? So let me copy this into Game Maker, as always. And it's not working because of reasons. There it is. So let me get rid of this background. Oh, I did the wrong layer thing. Let me make these eyes like this, so it's like a ghost. Add this back in. And to do an animation, I'm gonna do another frame here. Oh gosh. And I'm gonna transform, rotate. So I didn't draw this one, but like you'll see it animate. So we're gonna make an object for that. We have a sprite for that, the image. We're making an object we can place in the room. We're gonna call this object creepy cherry. Okay, and so to make this kill the player, we're gonna go to the parent thing. It kind of says what type of object it is. We're gonna make it the player killer. And in the create event, which is just, this code executes once when the thing starts, we're gonna do image speed equals 1 divided by 5. So this means every 5 frames, it will animate and go to the next frame. So let's just see if it works. We'll just, so I'm realizing you can't see the eyes, so I'm gonna edit the sprite once again. This will look kind of bad, but if it looks creepy, it'll be okay. There we go. And let me make it bigger, just because I can. Make it really big. I'm playing too much Genki. Oh gosh, here we go. Here's our spooky animated sprite. And we touch it, and it kills you. Very spoopy. So, why don't we just put a few of these as obstacles, just for fun? Why not? Okay. So let me mix in the low gravity here. And I have an idea for what I want the player to do. I want the player to navigate this and then have to land, like curve back around, you know? So let me actually make this lower. And this should be pretty easy to do with low grav, so I'm going to boost it up a block. I feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of things I wanted to talk about, but oh well. And let me just finish up the room with some filler, because I want to move on. So I'm really slapping things together, but if you're actually making a game, you should take your time. Although it is fun to see how fast you can go. And fun fact, in I Want to Try a Collab, that's what we did. We tried to go really fast. Setting a time limit is interesting because it forces you to make decisions, and you know, it forces you to make something. Because a lot of times when you're doing a creative endeavor, it's like you just spend more time because you want to get it perfect and you redo stuff, and it's like, this is I Want to Be the Patrickgh game. Yeah. Okay. And we're gonna put our thing here, the room changer object, and make room 2. I think I should do a boss soon. Maybe. And in this RPat3, we're coming out on this side. Continuity. Okay. So yeah, I really enjoy Game Maker as a hobby. It's just really fun to make stuff, and it's really fun to get good at making stuff and then see people enjoy your good stuff. So that's the appeal of it to me. And you can have fun with it too. That's kind of neat. Okay. This is kind of weird how you can land there, but whatever. Here's a low grav, easy jump, easy jump. All right, and then it takes you to the next room. Cool. Yeah, you can also J-tool. Pretty cool if you just want to do the level design. Yeah. Yeah, but don't worry about explaining the variables and stuff. This isn't an actual tutorial. It's more of like what my work process is like, sort of, maybe. And you know what, just to be kind of, this is sort of like mean to do content after the save is over, but like, you know, it can be fine if you do it right. It's not too bad stuff. So we're just gonna do a simple jump like that to get to the save. Okay. Let me look at my list here of things to mention. Oh yeah, I could add a trap. So let me do that real quick. So there's built-in stuff to make traps, simple traps. If you want to do, you know, really funny, interesting traps, you're gonna have to do some coding yourself. But for the basic ones, it's already in there. But be careful you don't make it obnoxious. So I know what code to put here. I'm gonna label this as TRG as 1, and that's how the game knows that when I put this object down and do it to do TRG equals 1, they'll match up. So hopefully when I run this, you know what, let me turn on debug controls while I'm here. So now that I'm here, I can press W to move my kid. Oh, that's actually not in this, but I can press home to turn on God mode. So if you're testing your Fangame, and I just need to get to the next part, and I'm not worried about balance, I can just turn on God mode to make it less tedious. Cool. Now I'm here. So now when I hit this thing, I forgot to set something. So... oh... what is it? I gotta look at this. So I forgot how this worked. So I'm looking in the object, the code, and it says set these in creation codes. So I want to set V. Okay. So I'm going to do V equals -4. This is going to be an amazing trap. The spike's just going to fly up. Actually, let's make it -8 so you can't run past it, hopefully. Tab moves my kid. Oh, I forgot. Thank you. You know what? Let me make this a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to copy the same spike and put them down here. So you're going to be like, what the heck are these spikes doing down here? And so what you're going to have to do is, you'll see. Hopefully it isn't too hard. And you know what? Let me just move this up here. Okay, let's see if that works. Cool, so this thing works, and then what you have to do is you have to go back. But you can't go back all the way. Okay, I guess you can, but you have to like move back and then go through the gap here. So let me add another spike to make sure you can't go back. And that's kind of an interesting movement. So you should use triggers to make interesting movements and be funny. You shouldn't use them to just be obnoxious. So it's a fine line, I'll tell you. But yeah, traps are you can do interesting things with them. So, let me think. Yeah, GameMaker has support for network stuff. Let me scroll up in the chat and see if there's anything. Oh gosh, I hope not. So, what's the time I'm at? If someone wants to say in chat. I should have had my stupid timer open, but I didn't. Let me see what else I want to do. We could just do some cherry platforming. You know, non-standard spike platforming can be fun, but it's not everyone's cup of tea, so you gotta be careful. Oops. So what if you're in a hallway? Oops, I deleted it. And you have to do like this. You have to stop, set it up, and go there. That's kind of cool. And don't delete it this time. 3106, cool. That's okay. If anyone, I was thinking about doing some coding, maybe code a boss real quick. Maybe make some more graphics. I don't know. I could do a lot. Anyone have any, I don't know, any requests or something? I'm not gonna be able to get to all of them, of course, but if I see something that catches my eye, that'd be cool. We put in a lazy jump. I call this jump the lazy jump. It's when you have a corridor like this. Let's say you're making a level and this is all used up, and this is all used up below too. And you have to put a jump here. You just put the lazy jump. So that's why I call this the lazy jump. All right, we're gonna do a boss. Some avoidance, insane avoidance. And you know what? Just to stay with the theme, we're gonna put a ground level gate jump. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. Well, actually, we'll see. Yeah, okay. I'll do the boss suit then. So I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna pretend like this is a diamond. Don't tell anyone, but it's not actually a diamond. So I'm gonna do TRG equals 2 for this guy, and then VS equals maybe 4. So this is 4. 4 means 4 pixels per frame. And Fangames usually run at 50 frames per second. Don't ask why 50, not 60. Ask KN. But yeah, so I'm going to copy this and put this so these both trigger at the same time. But this one is -4, which means it goes in the upward direction, not downward. So let me go to put a trigger here. Put this one as TRG equals 2. All right, cool. Now I got a thing here. So I'm gonna trust that that works, and let's go make a boss room. So warps, put this guy here. Room 2 equals rpat boss. I mean rpat, we'll just give it 4 in case I go more after that. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Get out of there. Rpat 4. And this Y is at 4 blocks from the bottom. I can also make some more graphics. Yeah, we don't know why it is. It may have been. Laptop could handle 60? Oh, yeah, that's a very I can definitely see that being started as a rumor. Okay, so let me put a save point here. The player start. Let's go to the ritual, and let me make our boss room. So, oops. Oh, by the way, when I'm placing spikes and stuff, you don't have to put them on a 32 pixel grid, which means they snap to each 32 pixels. Each block is 32 pixels, by the way. You can change it up here, so if we want to make more intricate jumps, like the infamous 16 pixel, you have to land in there, you can do that. You can also move them arbitrarily like this. Yeah, I'm just doing 32 by 32 just for quickness. And beware that 32 design can get boring fast unless you do it right, so probably, you know, do more than go off the 32 pixel grid. Unless you really know what you're doing. So what I'm gonna do is make a boss, and then maybe later we'll make it exit. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, wait, what have I done with this room layout? We're gonna go like that, and then make a wall seal off here. Okay. Yeah, 50 FPS. There has to be a 50 FPS if you want to simulate the accurate physics. I'm not going to go into that. Unity is nice. I've used Unity. It's good for certain kinds of games, but for fan games, I think Game Maker is the way to go. But it's definitely, Unity is better for certain other things. I know one guy tried to make a fan game in Unity just because he liked it and it turned out okay, so yeah. So let me make a sprite for this guy. So apparently I just have no original ideas right now. So we're just gonna go with something, a weird creepy drawing, I guess. Those are always fun to do for me, so let's see. So this is going to be the outline color. Okay, you know what? Actually, let me try to make this a little bit more serious. So this is the outline color. Oh, geez, I have no idea what to do. I can't draw Miku. I'm not good at drawing Miku. I guess someone suggested Miku, so I have to. Oh god, it's already terrible. No. There's the skirt. I'm having a lot of fun. If you like to see dumb drawings like this, you should be sure to stick around for Wolsk's Draw My Guy run. There's my Miku. Here are some eyes you can barely see. So instead of drawing sprites, you can also find sprites online. There's a website called Spriter's Resource, where people have ripped sprites from popular games. So, and just Google for tile sets or sprites or whatever you want. And yeah. Okay. So we're gonna make an object for called object creepy Miku. Oh, Miku's not red. Oh. Okay. Not a problem. There we go. Perfect. This is still open. Let me close that. I didn't copy it correctly. Okay, good enough. Better. We're gonna make this pick the parent thing and do killer, so when you touch it, it's a nice built-in feature to the engine. So sprite is gonna be creepy Miku, and we're gonna make this this girl. Oops, that's too big. Maybe that's a good Miku, right? So what we're going to do in this object's code, we're going to do step event, and we're going to do, this executes, okay, you know what, I'm going to go to this create event and do count equals 0. And this is defining a variable count that it's like a number we're keeping track of in our head, or that Miku's keeping track of in her head. And every step we're going to do count plus equals 1, which adds 1 to count. And we're going to do if count mod 3 equals 0. So this will happen every third step. So we're going to say if count is a multiple of 3, so it's every third, frame. We're going to do with instance create xy creepy cherry. I was hoping this would have more of a coherent, this game would have more of a coherent theme to it, but I guess it's not happening. So this instance creates at our position, which is x and y. Creepy cherry, which is our cherry object we already made. We're going to do direction equals point direction xy object player x. Don't be scared of code. I know what I'm doing, but don't be scared. It's not that complicated once you know what you're doing. So I'm going to do direction equals toward the player. That's what this does. And I'm also going to make sure the player exists, or else it will cause an error when we try to point toward the player. Makes sense. So, and we're also going to do speed equals maybe 5. Okay. And then we're also going to do if place meeting xy object bullet. This will check if the player just shot us. We're going to do with this destroys the bullet that just shot us. I'm going to do HP minus equal 1. And this is another thing we have to keep track of, so we have to tell Miku to keep track of it up here. Makes sense. So we're going to do, actually no, why did I put 0? We're going to do like 30. So we're going to do if HP is equals 0, which means we just got hit and the HP is 0. We're going to do destroy ourselves. So that means we beat the boss. So let's see if that works. Oops. That's bright. I'm sorry. Stock raid? PogChamp. Okay, well, let's test out this segment. There's the cool trigger. There's the apple platforming. The lazy jump, which I failed. And the fake diamond is actually a real diamond, but that's no problem for me. So let me find out that why the diamond is not going. TRG equals 2, and the spike is TRG equals 2. It's V, not VS. That's what it is. I bet someone caught that as soon as I did it. Anyways, we're gonna assume that works. So let's go here. And this is too hard. It's not good. 20 minutes left? Alrighty. So as soon as I finish up this boss, which is just a masterpiece already, by the way, it doesn't need balancing at all, or any tweaking, it's perfect. Then I'll go do some Q&A and actually read the chat and answer questions, so yeah. It's totally possible. So I guess what I meant to do is so this is, instead of making the home in on the player, I'm going to do direction equals random 360. And when you look at random 360, you should bow in honor, because this is the Lord and Savior of boss design and fan games. So random 360, 360, there's 360 degrees in a circle, so it just chooses the random, it just goes in a random direction. Kind of like this. And I'm shooting Miku. It's not making a sound. But we killed her, so our code works. It's not polished, which means, it's there's sound effects and there's some visual effects and there's, it feels nice, but it works. And sort of what I was going for this event. So I'm gonna make this object of depth -10, so the chairs show up above everything. You can see how before they were behind the blocks and stuff. Kind of looks bad. Let me make Miku sound, audio, sound, play. I mean play sound, of course. So we're going to play a sound every time we hit, feels a little bit better. And then we're also going to make this a little bit harder. So this is count mod 2, which means if count is divisible by 2, so that's every other frame. And then let's also make this guy, I mean the girl, well, we'll leave it at 30 for now. Yeah, she just disappears. And then normally I could make these blocks disappear, but forget it. As soon as we kill Miku, that's enough for me. Oh, GMS is on sale? Oh man, I wonder how much it is. You should, yeah. Cool. Let me think. Let me draw a background real quick. This will make... Sometimes, like, if you're making a game, there's multiple aspects. There's the coding, there's the level design, there's the graphics, there's, you know, like, gimmick design, I guess. There's just so many. There's music, sound effects. Those are all important aspects. And sometimes your game is good in all but one. And sometimes bumping up that one just a little bit makes the whole game so much better. So I'm hoping that this background will make it look a lot less bland. So this is 64 by 64. I'm going to choose a dark gray. And I'm going to draw a simple design. So hopefully I keep it simple. And then after I'm done with this and make sure that looks pretty good, then I'll open it up to the questions. I think I'm eyeballing this and this is actually coming out symmetrical. It's kind of funny. Okay, that's not symmetrical, I guess. What did I want to do with this? I forgot what my idea was. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I just thought of this just now. And we'll see how it works. Okay. Okay, let me copy this over because this is important that this is lined up. Okay. And let me make this a little bit darker, a little bit more subtle. Hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move this up and then have another set of them. So we'll see how this looks. So let me copy this. And this is, instead of adding it to sprites like we normally do, I'm gonna go to backgrounds because yada yada works differently. I don't need explaining. Okay, click, no, actually it's fine. So I'm gonna go into our rooms here. I'm gonna click our room. So here's our first room, our humble beginnings. And also our ending's pretty humble too, but yeah. I'm gonna go to the background, click this. Oh gosh, it does not look good. It's hard to tell how good something's gonna look when you make it in the editor, but this, I thought it would look better. I'll leave it at that. Let me just make it a little bit more subtle and just keep it. Hopefully it's a little bit, making it a little bit more interesting than just a plain pastel background. So yeah, there's I Want to Be the Patrickgh game. Let me test out our changes to Miku real quick, and then I'll. So yeah, I'm opening up to Q&A. If anyone has any questions, I'll actually read the chat now. Yeah. That sound is too loud. Let me turn it down. I already turned it down. Turn it down even more. It'd be better if it's scrolled. We're not gonna do that. You can see our cherries animating. I didn't make the boss animated, but I did make it a new thing, so. And also, if you come in from the previous screen, let's see if our diamond works. Tab is not working for me. There's our diamond, cool. All right. Oops. Okay. Let's beat Miku one more time. creepoo, if you will. Game will publish. I'm not going to put it on the wiki. So there is, you know, a official website where people, well, you can think of it as Delfruit. So, you know, official Fangames that are released to the public are on, you can find them on Delfruit. But if you just make something really quick, you should consider waiting before you publish it to Delfruit, because like you may be proud of it, but like, are you gonna be proud of it in 5 days, or are you gonna regret making it public? Because then 5 days later you realize it's bad, you know. Oh, that's a good idea. All right, let's do that. So let me open up a new Chrome window. You know what? I really hope. Let me open up an incognito. Okay, it shows my bookmark still, but whatever. You can judge me all you want. Let me close this. But yeah. Oh, also testing is the biggest thing that I'm not covering here because I can't. So you should test your game, obviously, to make sure it's fun for you and you're going to change stuff, yada yada. But you need to have at least one other person play through the whole thing and give you feedback, because when you look at something, it's like you made it, so you know how it's supposed to work. So you have to see how someone else who doesn't know how it's supposed to work and give their honest feedback. Anyways, there's a website called Sprite Edits, and let me search up Super Mario World. So Sprite Edits. There's also sounds up here, which is great, and yeah, sound effects are really important. Don't neglect sound effects. What? Who do I want? And you can search up keywords, or you can go here if you're looking for a specific game. SNES. There it is. If someone wants to, yeah, please link Clay's tutorial. It's a great tutorial. So let me go rip a Yoshi sprite, why not? No, actually. I'm being picky. Why am I being picky? We'll just do Yoshi. So I'm gonna right-click copy image. You can get it into the image editor of your choice. My favorite for doing this kind of stuff is paint.net, which works on Windows. So this is what this looks like. Put it in here. All right, so this is what you're gonna get. These are the animation frames. So let's take this one. So I'm gonna select this, copy it, and put it in a new image. This is just my workflow. You can do this many ways. So we can see there's a 1 pixel thing between the frames. So I'm gonna save this. Patrickgh projects. There it is. I'm gonna save it as untitled because why not? So this is a 16 pixel tall image, and it would be 64, but there's 3 extra pixels. So I'm gonna go into Game Maker, right click, new sprite, edit, and there's a nice handy function called create from strip. You know, Clay's tutorial might do this, but I'm gonna go find, this is the untitled.png, and here's our Yoshi image. It's hard to see, but yeah. And I can input number of images 4, and there's a horizontal pixel offset out of 1. I didn't do it right. All right, I set the settings correctly, and then, oh, it's not correct. Oh, jeez. Okay, so now we have our Yoshi animation. And if I want to, I can go now, it's imported correctly. And if I go to our cherry object in our editor, we can go change it to the Yoshi. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to images, erase color, to erase the blue as the, you know, the thing. Click precise checking. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do also? Real quick, then this is the last thing. I'm sorry, there's just attention to detail. I can't stop doing it. So now if you run the game, tour of the home. This home is nice. So now it's Yoshi's instead, and they're animated correctly. So you can, if you don't want to draw your own stuff, which a lot of the time you can find better stuff online, you just find what you're looking for online, and you can you know, put it into Game Maker, and then there you go, beautiful. A lot of games do this, like Find My Destiny, which is the second run of the marathon, extensively used, you know, sprites other people made, and it used them well because it chose ones that fit with the theme, and it chose ones that fit well together, yada yada. It's an important skill to be able to find good sprites online. 6 minutes 30. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. That took longer than I thought, but shoot. Yeah, let me look at my list here. So yeah, I hope that if you happen to be interested in making games, it might be a little bit tough at first, but you have to keep, you know, you have to just be persistent, and then you will learn how Game Maker works. Game Maker is very quirky, so you're gonna find a lot of things you'll be like, well, that's dumb, and then you're gonna come to me and I'll be like, yeah, that is dumb. So you have to be persistent, and eventually you'll be able to make good stuff, and it's gonna be, you know, if you're interested, hopefully you'll have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, on our community Discord, people post screenshots of what stuff they're making and ask for help, yada yada. That's a good place to go. I Want to Be the Co-op uses a lot of, you know, pre-made graphics, and he uses them very well. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to learn in the engines. Don't get discouraged. It takes a lot of time to know how everything works. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you're making stuff. Neverga's not going to be able to explain the multiplayer, I don't think. So yeah, I'll upload this stupid game to the thing somewhere. I'll post it in chat, I guess. I Want to Be the Patrick game. Oh yeah, I guess take your time. I wrote that down. I don't know why I wrote that down, but yeah. Anything else I should, let me open up the game. Yoshi's, and now Miku shoots Yoshi's too. Perfect. When you're making games, you're gonna have a lot of funny stuff like that. Like, I've seen it all, so it's not that funny to me anymore, but like, you'll see funny bugs. Like that bug that happened when Miku was aiming stuff at you and it was just, you know, undodgeable, it just killed you. You know, it's really, it's funny, and there's just an infinite number of those funny things that can happen when you're making games. So they just surprise you and make you laugh. It's fun. Yeah, Yo Sniper is a community member. He holds a contest. He's done, I think this is the third one he's doing at the moment, where people make games and then we just, over a few months period, and we just see who's turned out the best. And there's, you know, there's a small cash prize, but it's mostly about the experience. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I didn't go over a lot of the technical details, but hopefully I made this in an hour and I got sidetracked, and I could have done a better job in an hour, but it still turned out, it's playable. I should have done more with these low gravity fields. There's a lot you could do with these. Let me change it back from Yoshi. But yeah, you can see there's the tools to make fan games, they're all there. There's you know, there's yeah, the make fan games. That's the moral of the story. Where's my object? Where is my, oh there it is. It's Yoshi, that's why I didn't recognize it. Okay. Yeah, avoiding being too much of a perfectionist. Hi Bryce. You know, I find that setting arbitrary deadlines and forcing yourself to stick to them helps a lot. You just have to, it's a skill you have to practice, not being a perfectionist, and it's a skill to practice to finish things. You have to treat that as a skill on its own. There's an article by Derek Yu I could link later on finishing games and how it's hard. But you know, when we made I Want to Try a Collab, which is the game we raced just before this, we forced ourselves in 4 hours to make, you know, one screen with a full gimmick and, you know, nice graphics and nice level design. And it's really fast paced. You might think an hour is a lot of time to do a good level design, but it's not if you want to do a really good job. So forcing yourself to move on, that's my advice, I guess. And also there's no, so just the more mileage you get, you're just gonna get better. So I don't know. Let me see. Something I missed. Also, if you're ready to cut me off whenever, or I can keep going and ramble. Hopefully that's good. All right. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun. Yeah.